Hi, I'm Aaron and I'm in the kitchen, and today I am making Instant Pot gumbo. Don't even try to argue with me in the comments. All right, here we go. I normally chop everything in the food processor, and you guys already know that. But today, because I want big chunky pieces, I'm actually going to chop these things by hand in a very rough chop, because they're gonna cook down in the liquid anyway. So I do think it's a bit ironic, me making this gumbo and also me being engaged to a French person. There is some kind of symbolism in that, although I am not from Louisiana. So this is going to be my twist, my take on the gumbo, as everything always is. My twist, my take. But if this looks like something that is super duper familiar to those of you watching from Louisiana, then you can let me know. And if I'm totally off, then you can let me know. I'm still gonna do me, but you can let me know anyway. When I say a rough chop, I really mean a rough chop, like kind of a little bit less than quartering. All right, taking off just the end and the tip. My celery is already pre-washed, if you were curious why I did not wash beforehand. It's already pre-washed. Well, I pre-washed it before you guys are seeing it anyway. So for the onion, that was just one whole onion, by the way. And the celery, I'm using a bushel of celery from the grocery store. So I'm not even sure how much that is. I would guess it's about 500 grams of celery. But just the bushel from the grocery store, whatever your bushel looks like, that's what I'm using. All right. Again, just rough chopping this celery. And then after, we're gonna put everything back into this bowl here. And then while I'm working on the stock or the sauce, I'm not exactly sure what to call it. Is gumbo's not a soup, right? Or is it a soup? I don't know. I'm trying to be careful with my words because I'm not exactly sure. But gumbo is a gumbo. The funny thing is, when I was in undergrad, I had a friend that was from New Orleans, who is now a chef, by the way, who would make a lot of these Creole dishes for me, which I really, really enjoyed. And it definitely has affected my cooking because you guys can see from a lot of my recipes, I love Cajun seasoning and I use it all the time. So shout out to him. I wish he had a YouTube channel. If he did, I definitely would tell you guys what it is. But if you are in California and you are looking for catering, he is Chef Reggie. And if I find his stuff, then I will link it down below for sure. All right, so in a traditional gumbo, there is andouille sausage. First of all, I'm pretty sure in French, andouille just means sausage. So is that right?
No.
Well, what is it, Mr. Cameraman?
Le mot andouille désigne des élaborations charcutières diverses, fortement différenciées, qui reflètent des traditions locales éventuellement très anciennes. Inégalement codifiées par le code des usages de la charcuterie faisant référence pour les professionnels. Il s'agit d'une spécialité française, même si les variantes peuvent être fabriquées dans d'autres pays. Assez communément, il s'agit d'une charcuterie composée de la ventrée complète de...
I'm in Austria, y'all. I'm not in France. So not only do I not have access to a New Orleans andouille, which we all know what that is. It's the long, brown, thick sausage that is really, really delicious. I don't have access to that. I don't have that in Austria. We don't have that in the grocery store. And if we do have it, I have never seen it. So if you're from Austria and you're watching this and I'm saying something wrong, you can also correct. But what we do have is this thing called a Käsekreiner, which is a type of cheese sausage that's slightly spiced. So I'm going to use that instead. It's also kind of sweet, so kinda gives you that flavor. I know it's not authentic. Y'all, when you hear the editor speaking or the cameraman speaking, it's the same person, by the way, y'all, if you didn't know. When you hear the cameraman / editor speaking, can you hear an accent when he speaks? It's obviously not mine. But can you hear an accent? Oh, I'm cutting these sausages at a diagonal. I really want the gumbo to have lots of rich pieces. This is going to be the part of this gumbo that takes the longest, because usually people sit and they make their gumbo and it has to cook down for an hour to get the flour and the oil, or butter in my case, I'm using butter, by the way, spoiler alert, to have that chocolatey brown color. But because the Instant Pot only has the saute function, it's going to be high heat, so you just have to stand over it and watch it. Needless to say, it's not going to take an hour. But just because it's not going to take an hour, that doesn't mean it's not going to have the same flavor. Because after we get the sauce going, instead of letting it cook, we're going to pressure cook it and allow it to sit there and cook for another 20 minutes in the pressure cooker. And the flavors will all be in it and delicious and fantastic. And you will have a very fast Instant Pot gumbo. So in this particular recipe, the cutting and chopping is actually the thing that's going to take you the longest amount of time. For my chicken pieces, I'm going to leave them whole for the most part. And I really wanted to put shrimp in my gumbo, but Austria is nowhere near the ocean. So first of all, I don't necessarily even trust the freshness and the quality of the seafood here. And second, the seafood here is so expensive. It's just mind-blowing how expensive the seafood is here. This isn't usually the knife I use to do my chickens with. It's just the one I already had out, so I'm using it. So I have 4, is this right? Yeah, I have 4 legs and 4 thighs in here, and that's all the chicken that I'm going to use. I'm going to save this chicken and use it for something else. Don't throw away your chicken bones. You can make chicken stock at home with these bones, so keep those bones. All right, I'm gonna change my gloves and then I'll be back. Okay, now I have a treat for my viewers in the US. I am actually going to use cups today, just for you and just for these 2 ingredients. But I will kindly ask for my editor to put the conversions in grams for what I'm about to do. Okay, now we are back with the machine. Now, going in, I'm using 250 grams of butter. Butter is flavor, oil is moisture when you're baking anyway. Because I don't see the flavor benefit of using oil, besides not burning as fast as butter, I'm gonna use butter. And because this is a faster gumbo recipe, I'm just gonna use butter. And I am using 1 cup of flour in here to my butter. I believe, now I don't know this to be true, but for my non-American folks out here that are baking, I believe 1 cup of flour is 120 grams of flour, I believe. Could be wrong, but that's what I believe. Let's find out. Have our flour, have our butter in there. I'm using all-purpose flour. I almost always use all-purpose flour, so unless I say otherwise, it is all-purpose flour. And we're just gonna let these 2 become friends. I didn't show this earlier because I didn't chop my garlic, but I am using an entire clove of garlic. I'm just going to use my garlic press and press all of this garlic in. You'll see that later. This is one of those, because it's in the Instant Pot, and even if this was on the stove, you cannot walk away from this at all. It will burn. And I'm going to switch back and forth between using a whisk, which I don't even have out right now, and using this silicone spoon. If you've ever made gumbo on the stove, you know that that process can take upwards of an hour. But if you are looking at it in my Instant Pot right now, you can see that the color is already starting to get golden. And this is why I said you cannot walk away from this. It will burn. You will be sad. We are going to cook this flour until it becomes a chocolatey consistency, or until it's brown like me. You have to make sure you're constantly stirring. You do not want any part of this to stick to the bottom. If you don't have an Instant Pot and you want to make your gumbo like me, you essentially would just be cooking your gumbo on high. Also, traditional gumbos have onions, garlic, celery, and green bell peppers, but I don't like bell peppers, so I'm not using that. But if you want to add that to yours, feel free to add that to yours. Bell peppers are just one of those things that you'll probably never see from me, so I don't like it. So if you're hoping one day I'm going to come out with the recipe for stuffed peppers, at this stage, if you want to switch and start using a whisk, you are welcome to that. I'm not having any sticking. I'm just making sure. If you are worried about this flour sticking at all, once we get to the chocolate consistency, don't worry about that. The acid in our vegetables is going to deglaze the bottom of our stock pot. Okay, so this has been in the Instant Pot for about 7 minutes now, and we're already at the right color for me. I don't need it to get any darker than this. It can get darker than this if you so desire, but I don't personally need it to get any darker than this. I'm gonna leave it at that. And then I'm going to put my veggies in, and my veggies will deglaze. All right, moving on to the next step. You want to back up, babe, because it's going to pop a lot. I'll wait until you turn on the other camera though. Oh, it's already on. Great. Okay, so with this next step, be very, very careful, because the moisture in your vegetables are going to activate with the oils from the butter. So be very, very careful. But don't hesitate, just dump everything in. Stir. And let your vegetables cook down with your roux that you started. A roux is flour and butter, and it is an old French technique in order to thicken a sauce. All right, that didn't have as big of a reaction as I thought it would, thank goodness. But I'm just gonna let this sit here and cook for a second. And I'm going to add 1 cup of chicken stock while this is cooking. Okay, I said 1 cup, but this is 2 cups of chicken stock going in. I'm adding the chicken stock for 2 reasons. First reason is so my vegetables can cook down, my celery and my onions. The second reason is so I have time to crush my garlic without anything burning. I'm pretty sure you guys were there the first time I used this garlic press, and I have become addicted to it ever since. I can put whole garlic in here, 3 pieces, and just press with the skin on and everything. For those people that have had a garlic press forever, this is not news for you, but for me, this is very exciting. And if I didn't already say this, I'm using a whole head of garlic. It's almost time to put more chicken stock in there. All right, going in with my last cloves. And then I'm gonna put more chicken stock. All right, now our garlic's in, our chicken is in. I'm leaving the bones on, by the way, y'all. And our sausage is in. 2 more cups of chicken stock. Another 2 cups going in. If you're counting, that's a total of 6. 8. Ten. Okay, just gonna make sure that nothing is sticking to the bottom of our Instant Pot here. And now we are going to season the food. Y'all knew this wouldn't be an Aaron video if I didn't season my food, right? All right, I'm ready to season now. Okay, if you don't like red chili flakes, then go sparingly with this or don't use it at all. But I like a little bit of kick. So I'm gonna go in with 1 tablespoon of red chili flakes. It may look like a lot, but my thing is a really slow, don't know the word, slow thing. Oh, I'm using garlic flakes as well. And I'm using 2 tablespoons of garlic flakes. 1 chicken bouillon cube. 2 tablespoons of onion powder. 1 tablespoon of white pepper. 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. A pinch of salt. 1 tablespoon of steak seasoning or all-purpose seasoning of your choice. The steak seasoning is my all-purpose seasoning. Slap your mama. It has to go in here, right? 2 tablespoons of slap your mama. 2 tablespoons of Tony's. Because it is a liquid, you cannot be afraid to really, really season your liquid because a lot of that flavor is going to poof. All right, the gumbo is looking beautiful. So I'm just going to give it a taste, see where we are. All right, that fell. Ooh, that's really quite good. That's good. But I want to boost it even more. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon more of everything. That's delicious. All right. Now I'm gonna close it. Let this finish cooking and becoming friends with the Instant Pot for 35 minutes, and then it'll be ready. Perfectly cooked, everything. And I'll see you when I come back. All right, we are back after 30 minutes. Everything is all cooked. And I want to get myself a little chicken leg. Ooh, it looks so good. I'm just gonna go in here with this chicken leg. And look, some of this sausage in this broth. Have mercy. Gotta get some of the veggies too. Taste test. Oh, it's so good. You know what? I forgot to put the rice in this. This is good without the rice, but oh my God. Ooh, the easiest gumbo that you will possibly ever make. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. And thank you so much for 100 subscribers. At the time of filming this, a few days ago, we reached 100 subscribers. So thank you guys, especially if you've watched to this point in the video. Thank you so much. All of your feedback, all of your comments. Thank you so much. All of the likes, the shares. Thank you so much for everything. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. And I hope you guys continue to enjoy what you see. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Ciao for now.